All right. Welcome to everyone. Today, our guest is MMA fighter Jerald Spohn. So, Gerald, you're fresh of your CFFC victory. So, how are you feeling about it? And what can you say in general, like three, four sentences, so we can proceed with question by question?
I feel good. I felt like I had a pretty spectacular performance. Got in, got out, did what I needed to do. But at the same time, there's always stuff to work on and to get better at.
When did you start training MMA, and which was your first martial art?
I started training MMA full time in 2018, and my first martial art is wrestling.
Do you have the nickname?
I do. It's I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but it's currently the Neon Dawn.
Does it have some specific meaning, or what is the background behind it?
So there is a rapper. He's kind of like a goofy, funny dude named Riff Raff. And when I have my hair cornrowed for fights, I look like the redheaded version of him. So some of my teammates call me like the Ginger Riff Raff, and he's got a bunch of nicknames. One of them being the Neon Don. And I always thought that one was particularly funny, so we just ran with it.
How would you describe your fighting style?
I would say it's more of like a freestyle fighting style. My background's in wrestling, but I don't just try to wrestle the entire time. I just use all the tools that are available to me and whatever makes sense.
Who are your coaches and sparring partners?
My head coach is Marcus Marinelli, boxing coach Alex Cooper, jiu-jitsu coach Pablo Castro. We also got some other guys like Cody Stevens helps us out. Bobby Khalil is our strength and conditioning coach. Um, got a bunch of different guys in there giving us a hand. Sparring partners, Alexa Kammer, Chad Kelly, uh, James Ritchie, Mario. I actually don't even know Mario's last name. He's new to the team, but dude's got some major skills. But yeah, I mean, the whole entire team, we all bounce around and help each other. So there's not really just one or two particular guys I work with.
Do you have the favorite strike and favorite submission?
Favorite, I wouldn't say favorite. I have some that I use more than others. I'd say if I had to pick like a favorite strike, it would just be an uppercut. I find the use for it a lot and get really long with it. Um, and as far as a submission, uh, I just find myself on guys' necks all the time. So say a rear naked choke, it comes pretty natural to me.
What can you say about your first amateur fight? How did you feel heading into your first amateur battle?
Oh man, the first amateur fight was it was like nothing I had ever experienced before. It was like everything was 1,000 miles per hour, and I was just like trying to hit and not get hit. It was a crazy experience, and it was an absolute war. And I'm thankful to have had that type of fight for my first fight to assure myself that this is what I wanted to do.
Who was your toughest amateur opponent and why?
My first amateur fight, Josiah Harrell was my toughest opponent. He was the toughest because he was just as good of a wrestler as I was, and his striking was good as well. So a majority of the fight, we were doing some boxing, and I felt like I was getting the better of that area. But then anytime we'd get into some grappling exchanges, I just couldn't quite do what I wanted, and he really made me work the entirety of the fight, and was the person that pushed me the closest to a loss. So he was definitely the toughest one I've had so far.
Which was the easiest amateur win for you?
The easiest amateur fight I had was my third fight. I can't remember the gentleman's name. He was a late replacement. I think he had a pretty bad record. It was kind of we went through two or three opponents, and then about a week out, we lost an opponent. So the matchmaker, wanting to keep the fight, just found someone who was willing to take the fight, and the guy was undersized and didn't look like he had trained too much. So I just kind of came in, did whatever I wanted, and finished the fight in probably a minute and a half.
How does one day in your life look like?
Wake up, I typically go to the gym and train clients. I work as a personal trainer at the gym, uh, helping them learn how to either defend themselves, get into shape, or actually learn the intricacies of boxing, kickboxing, MMA, wrestling, whatever it is to prepare them to be fighters as well. I'm usually at the gym for a few hours in the morning, come home, and spend my afternoons building the brand, building the business that is Jerald Spohn, and then typically head back to the gym in the evening for training, and train about 3 to 4 hours, and then come home, eat dinner, go to sleep, do it all again.
What was your plan for your professional debut? You finished VR naked choke.
So the plan was to stay close, box a lot, and if the opportunity for a takedown presented itself, to take it. And after I threw just a few punches, he came in and actually tried to grapple with me. We went to the ground, and it's safe to say I'm very comfortable there. So
Can you please say which is your favorite quote?
favorite quote. It is, if you want change, you must embrace. If you want change, you must invite chaos.
Do you have favorite activity outside of MMA?
Oh yeah, I got a ton of interests. I do some open mic comedy. I play video games. Um, I really truly enjoy building the business side of all this. So whether it's designing and creating products, or building a website, or just kind of focusing on the next steps of building my brand, um, as well as reading. I read quite a bit too.
So you mentioned that you have a lot of video games. Do you have a favorite video game?
Favorite video game? I'd say if I had to pick out of all that I played, I'd have to give it to the first Halo. But I play a ton of different stuff. So
So you like shooting games or?
yeah, I'm much more into first person shooters than anything else. And then I'd say probably strategy type games, and then maybe sports games last.
In first-person shooting, actually, my favorite one was the there was some mode for The Last of Us when you go from the first person, but it's generally third person. That was my favorite video game because there is a lot of zombies. You are like for realistic attacks or such things can be okay to you.
I like it's a good mix. I like realistic stuff. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but I played Escape from Tarkov quite a bit, and that's like a hyper realistic. I love that game, but it's very like intense. So I like to kind of get away from that sometimes and play some more kind of like goofy, or just like either goofy, relaxing games, or something that's like a little more like futuristic, unrealistic.
You have the favorite song if you arrive to the UFC. What would you like to be your walkout song?
I'm not sure. I changed my walkout song for every fight. For this past one, I walked out to um, Momentum by an up-and-coming artist called Automatic. And it was awesome, man. It was perfect. He's an awesome guy. He reached out to me, and we've been in contact. Very cool guy. Um, I'd like to, with the relationship I have with him, I'd like to continue to use his music, but it's also just, it's a feel for me. Whatever I listen to that gets me ready and gets me in that zone is what I'm going to use.
What are your plans for the future?
Keep fighting and keep winning. As long as I keep getting better and keep beating guys, then hopefully I have a long, healthy, fun career, and the rest will take care of itself. I'd like to get into some other things along the way, but I got to be good at fighting first.
Which was the greatest challenge of your MMA run as of now?
I'd say the greatest challenge has been recognizing when to pull back. I'm coming from a wrestling background and coming from like a very blue collar family. I have no problem with keeping my head down and just working hard. And what I'm not great at is taking a break, relaxing, taking the foot off the gas pedal. So I'd say the biggest challenge for me has been recognizing the times in which I need to relax a little bit and take a step back.
Would you like to add something to the interview? Would you like to greet someone or to give a shout out to somebody?
I'd say that I'd like to thank all my fans, followers, coaches, teammates, all my sponsors. Some of them are back here right behind me. And any and all my fans, anyone who's going to listen to this. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for having me. I going to make sure I get this out there and all my people get on your page and check everything out. So, yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much for the interview. I will post it tomorrow. Okay.
Sounds good. You shoot me the link when it's up, and I'll share it on everything.
All right. Thank you so much, Jerald. I will send you a link tomorrow.
All right, I appreciate you, man.
All right. Goodbye.